Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and talk to you about what you have to complete for this week, week 4. So if we scroll all the way down here to January 30th through the 5th, you'll see that we'll be studying the imperfect and double object pronouns. And if you scroll past the decorative picture and text, this is text you do not have to read, but if you feel so inclined, you can read that there, or you can open up the long description, which is just the text written out as opposed to being in a picture. It tells you to study pages 237 to 240 and pages 254 to 257. After completing this week's assignments, you should be able to take some shortcuts and conversation, as well as be able to talk about what used to happen and what you used to do in the past. You should be able to describe a scene in the past, and all of this work is due by the And all of this work is due by the 2nd, and it addresses SLOs 1 and 2, or Student Learning Outcomes 1 and 2. So the first thing you should do, just like in every week, is watch the instructor videos, which are right here. You open the instructor-made videos, and there should be videos on the imperfect and double object pronouns. So you watch all of those videos. Then after you're done, go back out, click on the class participation forum, and then click on class participation, and then hit reply here and post any questions or concerns you have about the material in the video. So if you've been making your own threads, I would prefer it if you guys would reply. It makes it a bit easier to grade and make sure I've seen everybody's post. Then you have a test in My Language Labs, and you also have assignment 6, which you have some work in chapter 7 and a little bit in chapter 8. So we're just going to click this link and take us out to My Language Labs. Okay, and then we're going to sign in. Okay, so after you've signed in, this is what you should see. I'm still on January, which at the beginning of this week you will be as well. You will want to click this little arrow, and it will take you to February. Our work is due on the 2nd, so I'm going to click on February the 2nd. And then what will pop up is the test. You also see Spanish grammar tutorials and extra practice. If you go back out here, you can see that I gave you a test. I've given you SAM activities, but no extra practice and tutorials. So those are only for you to complete if you feel like you need extra practice or extra explanation. Then just go down here, make sure you do the SAMs that are assigned, 739, 740, so you can double check. And there's your chapter 8s as well, and some additional practice. The practice probably this time goes with chapter 8, so you'll make sure you get all that done. Then we can also look at chapter 7's tests. Okay, so this is what the test should look like. You saw that it had no more attempts allowed. That's because I'd already been in here before. You can only get one attempt on your test, so make sure that you only open it when you're ready to take it. So the first is free time. This is vocabulary, so you just read these sentences and plug in the vocabulary word that would best complete the sentence. And remember that you do have a box up here with accented words. So if I wanted to write periódico, then I need to have my accented O. I just click right here and then I get an accented O. Oops. And then you would want to click back in the box and you could finish typing. Okay. So then the next one says escoger, complete the following sentences by choosing the appropriate verb. So you've got a few irregular verbs in the preterite tense. You just pick which verb and which spelling best completes the sentence. Just click on it. Here you've got more irregular verbs. You pick which of these verbs would best complete the sentence, and then you would conjugate them correctly. All right, then we've got a listening. You're going to listen to this paragraph.
Ayer me levanté muy tarde.
Okay, so you'll listen to the whole thing. Then you'll decide if the statements below are true, false, or not mentioned. So if they state something and from the dialogue you didn't hear any, you cannot answer it at all. You don't know whether it's true or false based on the dialogue, then it's not mentioned. Then here, complete the sentence. Choose the correct indefinite or negative expression to complete the following sentences. You just read these and you click on the negative or indefinite expression. Then you go to the next page and you'll continue to do that. Here, which is the correct verb, again, you've got more irregular verbs. You just read the sentences, pick the correct verb and the correct spelling of the verb that would best complete the sentence. Here, you're going to choose between these two and conjugate the verb correctly. Then here, this is vocabulary. Match each question with the correct response. So read the statement and then pick the response that would best complete it. And then complete the following sentences with the correct form. And I think up here what you've got is your double object pronoun. So you're picking which direct object and indirect object combination matches what you see over here. Then here is your regular verbs again. Just pick the verb that would best complete the sentence and conjugate it correctly into the preterite tense. And then here, this is your double object pronouns. So you're going to find your direct object, your indirect object, and plug them in the space provided. So you're taking your direct object and indirect object from the sentence and then turning them into a pronoun and putting them together. And here is vocabulary. You're just going to pick the word that would best complete the blank, and it'll carry over to page 3. That's the same exercise right there. Here's another vocabulary. Just read this paragraph, fill in the words that would best complete it, and then hit finish and submit for grading. And I hope that answers or explains to you what you have to do for this particular week.